Look, we're going to talk about cell salts and relapses because if you're drinking, okay, look, I'll have 7 years. It's crazy to even write that out next month with no pills, none. And what I'm into is the cell salts. That's with the you've got 12 cell salts that go with the 12 systems of the body. And see, I was born on December the 7th. And I'm into numbers. That's crazy. It's not crazy because you got yours too. And I'm not bragging about what I've done because it ain't me that's done it. It's God's done it. And anybody that knows me, you know, my experience is in all the detoxes, rehabs, ERs, ICUs, psych wards. I'm the one with the experience in there and lining up every day for pill call, you know, because the pills, they're not made of the brain. And see, the cell salts, so it should make sense. If you're sick or whatever, you have to put in to the brain and the body the material, which is cell salts. You're an aggregate of cells. Your blood is magnetic. So you put in what's deficient, because in the detoxes and all that, you just get pills. When caliphos is the main thing that forms gray brain matter, pia matter. And that nerve fluid, when it's deficient through the mass consumption of alcohol and sodas, then our thinking becomes disturbed. And then when we're putting pills there trying to quit that shit, we're never filling up the nerve fluid of what it is, and it's potassium phosphate. You know, and it's never addressed. Because see, it's like this. If you're tired of the shit, you're going to get this. I don't know where you can get it, but you're going to get caliphos. That's the nerve fluid. That's your brain fluid. That's what that is. Okay? This is the 12 cell salts themselves. This is all 12 cell salts. Caliphos goes with the Aries, because we've got to tie in astronomy. Aries would be the head. It's the brain, the cerebrum. And Aries rules that and the nerve fluid. Because when we're looking at the zodiac, the wheel of God, the wheel of fortune that you watch, it comes from that. But it's always turning like a wheel. And believe it or not, there's your blood's magnetic and it has a geometrical code to it. And you don't know that. And the more that you eat the unnatural substances, or the more that you consume the alcohol to deteriorate your body and soul, then the more the fluid in you dries up like a prune. And that affects your brain, and that's what causes the shakes and withdrawals and everything else. Because you're deficient of the caliphos, the nerve, the brain fluid. You know, because this all differentiates in the brain and the cloister up in the cerebrum. One part goes down to the pineal, one part goes to the pituitary. One's yellow, one's white. And those fluids go down the cerebellum and cross the medulla oblongata. You've got your vagus nerve, pneumogastric nerve, sympathetic nervous system. See, when we don't know about all that stuff, is my whole point, and you're given pills, it's everything inside of us plays a huge role with our how fast that we're going to recover from however far we've been drinking or eating like shit, gluttony. Those of you that's really trying, and I know it's hard, and you're going to hear things that hurts, but you've got to see it all as a big trick. The TV we watch even fucks up the fluid within us, the nerve fluid. It's the gray pia matter. You know, and then you've got natrium sulfate, which regulates the supply of water in us, which would be another one, and that would be Taurus. And then you've got calcium fluoride instead of sodium fluoride. Because see, the sodium fluoride actually kills your brain cells too. And when you're sitting in there brushing your teeth with the stuff with the opposite of what we need in it, and you're trying to get better, you're taking pills and all this, trusting the system, but the system has always failed because statistically there's not that many people that come out. It's because they don't know anything. And the whole time they're trying to get better, their disease, man-made disease, is working out in our heads. And that's why down the road, whenever we relapse, our body has been geared, the brain has been programmed, and it has been missing that program, that signal of the alcohol. And then that's why the blackouts, because we overload the system, and then we black out, we do stupid shit, whatever the case may be. You might be depressed and not remember shit. And that's a product of being deficient. Because we try to quit, but we keep drinking the sodas and the rehabs and all that shit. There's sodas and all that shit. Now they have decent food and some, but I mean it's all sodiumed out and all that other shit. And you're not getting the main ingredient, which is phosphate, because it's iron. Iron is actually in your blood, iron. And they say your nose, when you're really good and running solid, when you're facing the North Pole, your nose will twinkle. There's a bunch of more shit, and it's real, because the alcohol that we consume makes us dehydrated. Our living makes us dehydrated, or we poison ourselves. And then when we try to get help, we're taking a substance that's only meant to treat instead of cure something. This is meant to go in there and fill up all of the systems of the body and get them going on all cylinders. Because your organs inside of you all work together. They all work together, and truthfully, not all bodies are meant for these. All bodies are meant for cell salts, because your body's an aggregate of cells. And so once these certain individuals take these, they're always in a depressed state. Although they're doing better, Matt, they're not thinking about suicide now. Yeah, but they're still deficient. Their brain still doesn't have anything, and they're doing exactly what the pharmacies want them to do. They're just barely getting by, hating life, thinking that some medication's working, when the whole time everybody's deficient of the nerve fluid, especially the alcoholics and addicts. This was through the food I was eating that first year. I ain't working out like I was. I'm still active, but see, this right here I had no idea that the food that I was eating was the cell salts that did that shit right there, and that's natural. From the hospital bed. That was all water and asparagus and tilapia, sweet potatoes, egg whites. A lot of it too. It's crazy to even look at it, and it's been that long. And the majority is like, don't listen to him. It's like, what? Is that even real? To tell people don't listen to him? Why wouldn't you listen to somebody, anybody? Because it goes against everything you've ever been taught. But it's, the relapses down the road are always going to be worse. Because if we do get some time, 6 months, a year, year and a half, even if we hadn't been taking medications, we've just been being sober like we're supposed to. We're still consuming the modified substances. We're still watching the TV and planting the ideas in our subconscious to relapse. Because everything on TV is sex, drinking, partying, vampires, blood, drinking, sorcery and all kinds of shit. And you think we're going to be able to get sober sitting there watching that stuff? We have to always be looking and searching, reading, reading, studying. Because when we don't know our anatomy, then it's easy to always stay in the system. And in Rome, they called their sewer the system. And we have school system, judicial system, and everything. And it should make you feel a little better, because the people chasing money are actually worse than us, because their brain fluid is all about chasing money. Same way we chase alcohol. And when we change this fluid, just like an oil change within us, see, it's like this would be all 12 cell salts. So if I was in the beginning stages of my recovery, like that, what I know now, I would take 5, I would get this bottle, they're little bitty pellets, and it's what you're made of. I would take 5 of these in the morning, 5 in the afternoon, and 5 at night. And then I would call and get just the caliphos, that cell salt. This is all 12. You could call and get one of each of all 12 for each system of the body. But you're going to go in, no matter what, alcoholic or not, and you're going to load up. I'd eat fucking 10 in the morning, 10 in the afternoon, and 10 at night. You can eat all these bottles and nothing will happen to you. And you should be like, what the hell's he talking about? I'm talking about what they don't want you to know. You've got to go outside of your normal, programming from day one, and to get not only better, but to get your thinking and the power back. Because then you're taking, 15, 30, 45. Dude, that's like a NASCAR. Even if you don't watch NASCAR, race cars, well, they have to run on the best equipment and the best fuel and the best oils. So you're putting the oils in you, because all that goes into your blood, and what you eat sort of turns into your blood. So if it's going to be shit that we eat, then our blood is going to be a nasty river of shit, and it goes through our brain, and that's where our thinking is. So even if we're sobering up, we're still deficient of what the brain needs, which is caliphos, this nerve fluid. That's the top one right there. That's the big dog. And see, and another thing too, it's like calcium phosphate. This right here is a bone builder. This is the bone builder. And you would think, in elementary school, that they would load up all the students just on that cell salt alone because of the bones, because they're not drinking water. They're not doing shit. And they're all bones are this big. They're like, hey, Dad, I've been inside for 15 years playing nothing, just looking at a screen. And that's where these people want you. They want us. So that's what I'm saying. Through a relapse, now you know that it, instead of fucking just being like this, I might as well just end it. Now you got a new plan. You're going to get all of the cell salts from like a herb shop. Don't get shit from Walmart or anywhere else like that. Go to an herb shop. You might have to go to a Wicca website, and it's okay. Because most of those fucking people don't even know left from right. Trust me. They don't know shit. But they do have cool shit that they really don't even know how fucking badass that it is. And I'm not knocking them. I respect them totally and fully, but they're just like everybody else. Everybody's in the same boat. They only listen and hear what they want to. They never go a step further. They get to a point and stop. And it can't be real, Matt. Yeah, it is. But that's what I'm saying is the bone builder. And you're not taught that. And truthfully, the pill heads out there, if you're watching this, you need to get all 12 in one, and then get all this and this. So, because I know it hurts your bones. The methadone and all this shit, that's by design, because you're deficient of calcium phosphate and you want to load up on it. And Capricorn rules that one. You might have a little goat on it, and it's okay, because it's the zodiac. If it's in scripture, it is. This is our shit. So you would load up with this, this for your brain, this for your bones, and then this for all systems. You'd be eating 30 or 40, 50 a day. If you got money, you can do it. Why not? And then you got to drink the alkaline water in between. And your way out of the shit is going to be a whole lot better. Because you're going to start knowing yourself. You're going to know what you put in is making you run like your vehicle, because the whole vehicle comes from us. The whole design of it. The whole thing. Computers, we are the machine. Now, man has made machines from us. And they're going to exterminate us eventually. And I know it sounds crazy because it's off topic, but that's what I'm into, because I didn't ask for this journey. And it makes complete sense. TV, everything destroys these fluids within us. So just the next time you relapse, try to get a plan and get away from that shit. I love you.